I can be right on the trade idea and just wrong on the trade management. I can be right on the trade idea and just have a very bad emotional state for the day, and that can sabotage me. With the first withdrawal, I'm going to reinvest about 1/3 of that. 2/3 of that is going to be used towards bills and putting away in savings and all that fun stuff. And that's what you want to do. You want to make the money real. There's no better feeling than taking this money off on your computer. It feels like a video game at first, until you withdraw the money and actually use it and apply it to your life and buy yourself something with it or do anything with the money you've earned from your trading. Hey traders, so here's the results from the first day of trading on my $1,000 to six-figure income challenge. Looking at the Tradeify website here, this is my dashboard that shows my two accounts current profit or loss on them. And so we have profit of $14.8854 on one and $14.8954 on the other. And copy trading's basically the same. So I was able to make just under $3,000 that first day. Amazing start to the day. I was aiming for to make $1,800 on the day, but just trying to play the highest probability setup. And if that just makes me, less than what I'm trying to go for, that's just what it is. I'm not going to force anything. I'm not going to try to, steer with my ego on this. I'm going to just let the probabilities play out over multiple trades to just help with my success. So I just wanted to show you guys how that first day went before I get into a recap of today's trading profits that we got with students and things like that, and just everything else. So just wanted to make sure that you guys saw the first day results. So let's get into the actual charts. What is up, traders? Let's get into it. So today is day 2 of the $1,000 to six-figure income challenge that I'm doing. Essentially, I took just a little bit over, I think it was like maybe $1,006 or $1,007 using a discount code with Tradeify. I was able to get 250K straight to funded accounts, and let's see how the first 2 days actually went. So we're going to start off in Quantower because I guess the way my Tradeivate is working, it's not showing me the trades I took yesterday, which was the first day of the challenge. So I took the same trade here as I did yesterday. So just going to show you guys this one. This is my Quantower platform that I'm trading a Apteros Tryout Pro on. So up almost $15,000 on that. So pretty awesome, making my way towards my goal. Should be able to get that done, in the next, week or two. But anyways, we took a short here based upon a rejection of one of our major levels that you can see marked by this blue line. We had a rejection here, and we took a first entry, and we had some, I won't call it foul play. We just had to move up to run stops, I do believe. So on the first trade, I didn't take it on this Quantower. Frankly, I just forgot to enter it on this trade on Quantower, but took a loss my first trade. And the way that I'm trading my risk with that challenge that I'm doing is I'm limiting myself to $1,500 worth of loss a day. So with that first trade, I lost like maybe $1,000 or $1,150, somewhere around there. So when this run up here, I believe we had our stop somewhere around here. Yeah, it was somewhere like at 730. 18,730 was our stop level. And look at how the market just literally went up and just wicked through and then dropped. So I was still very confident in the setup and knowing that I had, still about $350 worth of risk that I could put into a trade. I then took another short once I saw rejection, and also something to note that this was a tap of a VWAP on the 4 hour, I believe it was. So with those two things, I was still confident in shorts. So I did take a re-entry, and when I took a re-entry, I was able to get back in. Actually realized I didn't place a trade on the Quantower platform, so I was able to take a short there as well, and I ended up getting out here. So it was a pretty big move down. So first day we made just under $1,500 per account. It was like $14.88 or $14.90 or something like that per account. So a great way to start the first day. Putting some cushion, between me and the starting balance, and also making my way towards the actual goal. I have to make $9,000 per account to be able to withdraw $3,000 per account. And I have to make sure I don't make too much in one day. They want to see good consistency. They don't want to see like getting lucky one day or something like that. So I'm trying to limit myself to a maximum of $1,800 per day of profit. So that was a great first move. We were able to catch it. So we went 1 for 2 yesterday, 50% win rate on the trades, but was able to make $3,000, just a little under $3,000 on the day. And so now let's actually pop over to Tradeovate, because it's actually showing the trades that we took today. So with the Tradeovate ones today, we were bearish based upon still the weekly. We're still under a weekly level that finally broke through a couple weeks ago. We tried to gap above it to start the week, but we weren't able to maintain any type of price action above that level. So I'm still very bearish just in my thinking and the way that I'm trading. I was hoping for a really big move to end the week since it was a shortened week with Good Friday being tomorrow. Figured we might see, really a lot of volume to kind of make up for the missing day. We didn't. So with that, we took a short trade based upon a few different things. Let's actually pop over to TradingView. There we go. So if we go to the 4 hour, awesome, and make it so we can see, we'll see that we have, some levels. These are our levels that I teach in my course, and when I'm trading live every day with my students, they have access to these levels as well. And I also do a live stream every day before the market opens, just kind of pointing out where the levels are and kind of what I'm looking for. But people trading live with me are able to know exactly what I'm thinking, what I'm doing, when I'm taking trades, how I'm trailing, profit and setting stops, all that fun stuff. But we saw this move down. This is the move we caught yesterday. Great move. It actually, wicked through our level, but, I just simply wanted to take the highest probability setup and not try to catch, any continuation that wasn't necessarily something that was guaranteed. I want the highest probability take profits whenever I can. So with that, overnight, I wouldn't call this a straight up rejection. This was a wick rejection. In my opinion, wick rejections aren't as powerful as a breakthrough and then a re-entry rejection. And what that would be is, let's say if this candle closed below this line here, and then the very next candle closed back above that level, that would be a flat out rejection to me. But not necessarily like as powerful. It depends on what time of day it happens. If a rejection, quote unquote, happens during like the Asian session or the European session, it's not as powerful as a rejection that happens during the New York session. And so that's why I don't place any trades before 30 minutes after market open. I want to see how the market's reacting to these levels that, as so far have been playing out very, very nicely for us. So we didn't get a push above. As we were closer to this level here, we didn't get a push above it. And so if we were going to be looking for buys, I would have wanted to see the market on the 4 hour close above, would have been this candle here, close above this level that we have here marked at 18,676. We wanted to see that close above. Then we would have waited for a retest, waited for an entry signal, and then took a long trade. But since we didn't see that, we're still bearish. It wasn't an A setup by any means. It wasn't an A+ setup. It was probably a B setup that we took today. So I did let my students know, like, let's not try to go ham on the sizing or anything like that. Let's get a base hit today and end the week on a positive note. So with what we were looking at, naturally just being kind of bearish on the market currently, I saw we had some levels that developed before the market actually opened. So let me delete these if I can. So I saw that we had some levels that had developed not too long ago. So we had a level here that developed pre-market. We had a level here that developed pre-market. So this was the last level that the market maintained before trying to make a push up. In this push up, I noted this push up made this level, in my eyes, important because we had a bullish intention off of this level that simply got smacked down by bears. And so if the bulls were going to protect this level, they would have done that during the market open. And notice that during the market open, we actually obliterated the level. And also, I noted that there was a level here that the market kind of reacted off of. kind of a retest that it did, but then got smacked down. So if we're gonna be pushing up, we would have pushed through. We would have made something happen off of this move, because we had a level that was trying to hold. We had a bullish push that got pushed down by the bears. And so for me, seeing this level break was a really good sign that we're likely wanting to go down for the session, or at least part of the session. So as soon as this candle closed below this zone, we took shorts. Notice we had a retest of this level here, and then it just tanked. So we had our stop. We entered here basically as soon as the hourly candle closed. And then that essentially checked off the 30-minute rule that we have, where we don't place a trade 30 minutes after market open. We want to wait until we know for sure what's going to happen. And we see some levels getting broken, or we just have a really good contextual idea based upon that first 30 minutes. So when we saw this close, we took an entry here, and our stop was above the previous hour candle high. For me, if we're going to maintain that downward move, we're going to be respecting the previous hourly candles, or in some cases the previous 4-hour candles. It's not 100% type of thing. Sometimes the market does have just levels it wants to go to before it continues down, and sometimes that will end up disrespecting this previous hourly candle rule or the previous 4-hour candle rule. And that's actually what happened to me yesterday. Let's go back really quick. We had this candle here. So obviously this is a level. The blue lines are my important levels that the market is going to give us an idea of what it wants to do from. The market is generally really attracted to these levels during the sessions. So that's why you'll see it playing out time after time. Like you'll see it here, played out, went down to this level, rejected, went down to the level, then shot up from that level. Closed below, tried to close back above. Then during the lead up to the New York session, it closed back below. For me, that was a rejection sign. So we took a short. We took it on the close of this candle here, meeting our 30-minute rule, and the market wicked up above to do whatever it had to do, I guess. We ended up getting stopped out on that trade by a few points, like literally a few points, and then it just absolutely tanked from there. But luckily, was still confident in the setup, just knowing that the levels want to be respected, and the strategy that we have is pretty spot on. It's pretty spot on every time, just depending on exactly where we put our stop and what our risk appetite is for each individual trade. But we were able to get a re-entry, and the market went to the level and rejected. And so that's what happened today. We saw that we did have levels break. We saw that we had on the footprint chart and the volume, we saw that we had bears starting to take over as far as actually putting in effort to push the market down, and it was working. So that's the other thing. You can have effort, but if the effort isn't actually providing any actual results, then that's absorption potentially. So we're just noting this. We put our take profits literally right at this level, and you'll note that let's go back over to trade of 8. You'll note that when we see it here, when we zoom in, that was that level. We got out about the 280, the 18,280, and market reversed from there. And so that's a high probability setup. The levels want to play out. They want to do that every single day. One of my students passed her Top Step challenge today. So her first time, currently batting 1,000. Both students that actually, are plugging in, doing what they got to do every single day, learning, studying the course, asking questions, just being involved in the actual learning that they're trying to do. They're getting results. So just wanted to share the first 2 days of the trading challenge. So up $6,000. Need to get to $18,000 total to do a $6,000 withdrawal, and that would be awesome. Covering the $1,000 initial investment plus some on the first withdrawal would be amazing. We're not going to try to force anything. That's the important part about a challenge like this. If you're putting money, on the line, you got to take it serious. We're not trying to, obviously trading in itself it's gambling essentially, but there's a way to be a good gambler. There's a way to kind of be able to control the odds a little bit more than just simply a 50-50 or, just YOLOing every trade. Been trading for 7 years, and I've just learned that there are things that the market is going to do every single time. The way that the market just moves, it can become very predictable. But the thing about it is our emotional state isn't always predictable. And so we can go on tilt at times. We can, self-sabotage at times. So it's just about not getting overly excited, not trying to force anything, not feeling that the market owes me anything. I need to just stay focused on the goal, which is just taking the best trade I can take every single day and putting my take profit at the highest probability spot and managing the trade correctly. I can be right on the trade idea and just wrong on the trade management. I can be right on the trade idea and just have a very bad emotional state for the day, and that can sabotage me. So yeah, we're gonna wrap up the first week up $6,000. Can't ask for much more than that. In 2 days, $6,000 worth of profit, making our way towards our goal. And remember, the goal isn't just simply to get to one payout, even though that's an amazing thing to do. It's awesome to be able to, invest money and make it to a payout. But the goal is to set a foundation, like the challenge says, to be able to create a 6-figure income off of this. And actually, withdraw the 6 figures. So you can set the foundation and not actually, reach the goal. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to reach the goal. And so with the first withdrawal, I'm going to reinvest about 1/3 of that. 2/3 of that is going to be used towards bills and putting away in savings and all that fun stuff. And that's what you want to do. You want to make the money real. There's no better feeling than, taking this money off on your computer. It feels like a video game at first, until you withdraw the money and actually use it and apply it to your life and buy yourself something with it or do anything with the money you've earned from your trading. That's the goal. But to set that foundation to be able to make, just from Tradeify alone, let's say if I'm able to even do just, one withdrawal a month at, $3,000 per account. If I max out my accounts at 5 accounts, then that's, over 150,000. It's probably 170 or something a year, just from one prop firm. If you're just doing one withdrawal a month, and that's not to even talk about doing 2 withdrawals a month, which is possible as well. So you can double that. It's possible to double that, but we're trying to be as realistic as possible. If we're just doing 1 withdrawal a month, goal accomplished. But I'm going to be reinvesting the money in multiple firms to then just make it easier off the same effort to just multiply the profits, the income. So if you guys are wanting to stay in touch with this, on this challenge, or just stay informed on how I'm doing, what I'm doing, subscribe, put on notifications. Also, again, I'm doing pre-market analysis for you guys free every single morning on YouTube. So again, subscribe, turn on notifications, and also check out the actual trading course in the Discord information. It's going to be in the description. If you want to, learn from somebody that's been trading for 7 years and is going to give you I wouldn't say anybody is the best teacher, but I'm getting results right now. So if you want to learn more about what we got going on with that, check out that link, and I'll see you guys next week.